Okay, so we're back on here, and let me go back to the exercise, the vote, and it says disconnected. And okay, so then we go to, let me see what else I got lined up here. I think I had some other things lined up. And so what do you think then? Please vote on this share screen. Do you think, given what you've been reading, that Scotland will eventually leave the United Kingdom to join the European Union? And so please vote, given what you've been reading about regional government and policies. And we've got 4 people who voted, so that's done. Okay, so, and then we go down to, please respond to the following statement. Europeanization makes nationalism stronger in Europe, not weaker. You strongly agree, disagree? And 2 people have voted, so the other 2 can vote as well on whether or not you think Europeanization makes nationalism stronger in Europe, not weaker. Of course, we saw Brexit and British nationalism intensify. We are seeing right-wing movements in Hungary and with Viktor Orban and the Law and Justice Party in Poland. So do you think that Europeanization, particularly since the end of the Cold War and the end of having a common enemy, because remember, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, but if we don't have a common enemy, we become more aware of our differences among each other because we don't have this incentive to like and stereotype each other as positive stereotype of ally, which at the individual level is friend. So if I like somebody as my friend, I don't see their faults. I'm less likely to view their faults or see that as a problem because they're my friend, because we're allies against the Soviet Union. But then the Soviet Union disappeared. But now Moscow is back as the bad guy. And so maybe again, Europeanization will be further encouraged as nationalisms of Poland and Bulgaria and France and Germany and Finland and Sweden and Greece all turn to deal with Moscow with the benign hegemon, the United States, providing support or no. And so I'll let you decide that and then vote, go back to another topic. Okay, debate topic. So to South Koreans, Europeanization encourages nationalism among restive national minority regions. And so let me go back to the breakout rooms and form into 2 rooms. And I'll assign you, let you choose which one you want to join. So room 1 is pro. And room 2 is con. So please join pro or con based upon your paragraph. Please join pro or con. Please join those rooms. So Anais and Gloria, you can join, and Ella and Sarah can join as well. So Gloria, are you pro or con?
I'm pro.
Well, you're pro, so I'll move you to pro. And Sarah, are you pro or con? Sarah? No, Sarah's not here. What about Ella? Ella? Ella is gone. So it looks like it's Gloria versus Anais. All right, so Gloria, please. Oh, I have to close all rooms and return you to the main session. And I think you can't hear me until this, or yes, you can, actually. It's done. Okay, so Gloria, please make your opening pro statement.
Okay. So Europeanization do arouse some hidden and felt emotion in nationalistic heart. In my previous essay, and even in my debate, the role of Europeanization was highlighted in so many dimensions and levels concerning the rising nationalism in Europe countries. The European integration create big changes in the subnational relationships, such as those between regional and central entities. To all these variations created by the Europeanization, subnational entities still have the resources to reply, and they do, in Ireland, Catalonia, England, and so on and so forth. Persons said that this past year, European Union has seen a stronger assessment of policy making by regional and constitutional region in which both began to be more influent. Europeanization brings closer countries that doesn't have at first very much in common. Wounded regions are afraid of this change and nor the tradition to stay as they are, for instance. They also bring a closure to their identities, which by some extent lead to an exclusion to those who are not like them. With the two recent migration waves, we saw restive national minorities in the region rise from their ashes, but unfortunately not for the most ethical reason, in my opinion.
Okay, and Anaïs, your con statement. So I think I can.
I think it's not going to.
Huh?
I think it's not going to.
Oh, I think it can.
So for me, I was calm because I think it's actually the opposite. The national authorities give more power to the minorities and regions. Because non-minority regions have more to lose than minority ones, because they actually have power when the government was centralized, which now is not anymore. Yeah, for example, giving the example of Catalan, people in favor of Catalan independence actually thought about subnational authorities to win their independence.
Yeah. And Gloria, what is your response to Anaïs? What are your thoughts? Gloria? Gloria, can you hear me? What are your, do you have a response to Anaïs? Let me see. Gloria. 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 No,
Yep,
Gloria.
I'm here.
Okay, do you have a response to Anaïs?
Yeah, I have kind of some. I mean, Europeanization is not the cause of restive national minorities, but I think it's needed to restive national minorities. I come from Sardinia, and I know that kind of the process of European Union entities coming closer to other countries that were not here at first are like the process of bringing political, economical, and historical countries that have nothing in common at first, even enemies at first in history, and they bring them closer. And I know that in Sardinia, for example, towards Italy, it's not the easiest way to handle the thing, as Corsica towards France. And I think that Europeanization has a lot to do with that, so I would stay pro. And yeah.
So the question is, let me just share the screen. Europeanization encourages nationalism among restive national minorities. Anaïs, you said con. And so how do you respond then to the case of Catalonia voting for independence on the 4 years ago in 2018? Doesn't that seem to indicate that Europeanization has encouraged Catalan nationalists and Scottish nationalists to dream the dream of breaking away from their national majorities that oppress them and suppress their culture because they don't have to worry about being invaded by Germany or France? That might have been an important motivation for Scottish nationalists to be part of the United Kingdom, because they thought their fate their future, their prosperity, there's nothing they can do about it. They have to be part of Greater England. There's only 4.5 million people living all in Scotland, far up north, surrounded by ocean on 3 sides. How can they think about becoming an independent country in a world where in the 1930s you had Hitler's Germany and Mussolini's Italy and Stalin's Soviet Union and Franco's Spain? Doesn't it seem obvious that Europeanization is encouraging suppressed groups that tolerated having to, we have stereotypes of these groups. Of course, they're stronger depending upon the historical context and if I can show the file I showed you once before, right? So I got to make sure you can see the screen. So in terms of ethnocentrism, right? I mean, these differential rates in political development in this model state. This is the core group. Typically, this is the majority. This is the French in France, or the Germans in Germany, or the Italians in Italy, or the Bulgarians in Bulgaria. And these are the advanced and backward, so-called advanced and so-called backward minorities. This would be in Europe, Jews would traditionally be in this category. But here in this category include Gypsies, Roma, and Turkish minorities, Muslim minorities in Bulgaria. And they tend to be stereotyped accordingly. Of course, we know about the anti-Semitic stereotype towards Jews in Europe, Armenians in the Middle East, Chinese minority in Southeast Asia, the Indian minorities in East Africa, the Lebanese minorities in West Africa. They can be stereotyped according to the anti-Semitic stereotype, that they are pushy and aggressive, and they're not loyal to the state. And when push comes to shove, that these groups are not loyal to the state. But of course, the lesser the perceived differences in culture due to different rates of development in these countries, the easier it is for these groups to assimilate. And so, of course, the big tragedy of Germany is that, of course, in Germany, this was the place where Jews felt most comfortable. This perceived cultural distance between Jews and Germans was the smallest in Europe, was in Germany. Amongst the intelligentsia, amongst the elite, these professors and business people, powerful business people, artists freely intermarried. But down lower in the socioeconomic classes, that's where you found the anti-Semitism, even though no more than 1% of the population of Germany was Jewish. But Hitler built an entire movement to scapegoating these people, right? Poland, it was even greater, the perceived cultural distance. And of course, this line is the level of political awareness among the mass of the population, right? So by Iraq became nearly fully politically aware by 1950. And of course, the Jews, the core groups, I should say, Iraq in 1950 was still a developing country with the mass of the population below this line, still traditional. They don't know what Iraq or the Arabs or Israel are, people below this line. People above this line do know, obviously. This difference between English and Scottish is pretty small, but it's still there. And it's evident, for example, in stereotypes. What are the stereotypes you have of Scottish people? That they like to drink, that they're drunkards, right? And you have to put up with that if you're a Scot. That, yeah, we're the funny Scottish people who like to fight and drink but do we need to put up with that? We don't need to put up with that in Europe. We can be our own country and be respected with all the other nations of Europe by becoming a sovereign country. So, and that is true for the Catalonians, that's true for the Scots. We don't need to put up with this bullshit anymore. In other words, sorry to use colorful language, but I need to stop there because, so please vote on this topic, please. And there's no right or wrong answer, of course. And it seems to have closed. Did I close that? I didn't mean to close that. Well, there it is. So let me see here. So please vote on the topic, please. And that's it for today. Okay. So see you on Monday. Bye.